Okay, the next thing is curves. Okay, so curves can be used with pretty much any brush inside of ZBrush, any sculpting brush. They behave kind of funky in most cases, but there's one very special case that I want to show you where you're going to be using curves if you want to add some extra geometry in a more predictable way. Okay, so let me show you how that works, and we're going to use something called the curve down here, and it's curve trifill. There's also a curve quad fill. They're essentially identical. One just makes quad geometry, one makes curve geometry. I guess we'll go with the quad. What the heck? I like quads. Okay, so I'm back to my dumb fish thing here. And I'm going to kind of go from the top view here. So what a curve or what this particular brush does is it lets you use a curve. Okay, so it lets you draw a curve, and then I'll just show you a brief concept here of what that looks like. Okay, so I'm just dragging this out, this curve out like that, and then it makes geometry where you drew. Okay, now the point of this is that you can then move the curve after you've made it and alter it. Okay, so you can tweak it to adjust things. Okay, to adjust the shape. And I know I'm going to be doing something else with these, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. But what I might want to do is adjust it in a more dimensional way. So like up and down here, like this. Okay. So there are some settings here that can help or hinder this thing. So what I've got set here is bend start and lock end, and that means the end of these things are supposed to stay locked. Now you can see this brush in particular will kind of just make you crazy at times because it doesn't seem to be doing, what you think it should be doing, that kind of stuff. You just have to kind of noodle with it from time to time and just kind of make things happen. So you will see when I hover over this thing turns kind of this light aqua blue color. That means you can then edit the line, the curve itself, like this. Okay, and you click and drag on it, and the larger or smaller the size of this, the more or less it will affect the differing points on that curve. Okay, now you'll see even though I have lock end clicked, it doesn't seem to be locking the end. Okay, that's what I mean. This will kind of make you a little nutty at times, just because it's a little just funky. But all I can say, okay, and I would want that thing to get inside my geometry here so that it comes out, in a way that makes more sense to what I want to do with this, like so. Okay. So how do you control the thickness? You do that by the draw size, okay? So when you're outside of the curved area or that geometry, you're in your regular tool here. So if I wanted to make this thicker, like this, all I do is change the draw size when I'm out here, and then I go back to this, and I click on it. So don't click and drag, you just click, and you'll see that made it thicker, okay? And you can do, anything you want, really thick or really thin, okay? I'll probably go to about 5 or so. Seems like a good size, okay? So the difference is clicking versus clicking and dragging. Okay, so this blue, you click and drag, and that will let you edit the points, alter the points, okay? And the bigger it is, the more area that's going to actually cover on that. Okay. Now, as I said, I'm not too worried about this because I'm going to be turning this into something that's more sculptural and flowy with the other tools. Okay. So you'll notice the other thing is as soon as you draw anything with a curve, it masks everything else in your scene. Okay. And that's how you can actually edit it without, changing other stuff. Okay. So if I go back here, and maybe if I turn that off, I'll have a little more luck here. No, now they're still just locked. And I'm really not sure why it's not affecting this more. See, I clicked and didn't drag quick enough. Yeah, that's getting hinky. So I'll probably just leave it as is. It's going to take you a few tries to get it, okay? But it does work, okay? As you can see, I got something here that I can use as a starting point to create a more billowy kind of shape with these things, which is what I wanted, really the point of this, what I wanted to show you. Okay, so I'll do that in the next video. The main thing, though, is when you want to get out of this mode, all you need to do is click on your object here, and that will uncheck these curves. The other thing is you can't go back and edit these curves after you're out of the tool, okay? So it's kind of like, it's not like Illustrator where you can always pick a curve again and edit it. You can't do that here, okay? So once it's set, it's set. Then I just hold down Control, drag out here to clear my mask, like so, okay? And then I'll probably want to Dynamesh this all again, because otherwise I'm going to have a hard time blending these two things together. So if I go back to my standard brush here, and I just try and smooth this, you'll see it smooths one shape, but they're kind of still separate shapes, even though they're in the same zone. If I Dynamesh it, they will get bonded together. Okay, so Control drag out here, like so, and if I have Dynamesh on, which I didn't, okay, kind of see what that did. Like so. Okay, so now I can go in and I can smooth this stuff out a little bit more. I'm getting a little Swiss cheese going on in here. Okay, that's not good, but I can noodle with that after the fact. Okay, all right, so that's kind of the way you can start to make these things. And then in the next video, I will show you how to clean some of this stuff up and start to make these things flow a little bit more along, like as if it's in water. Okay, stay tuned.